What if I told you there's a tribe where girls grow up topless from birth, and it's not seen as provocative, but perfectly normal? In a world where modesty is often dictated by fabric, these communities challenge our perceptions of nudity, culture, and identity. Today, we're exploring the fascinating traditions of tribes like the Koma in Nigeria and the Himba in Namibia, where clothing, or the lack thereof, tells a deeper story. The Koma tribe of Nigeria. Nestled in the Atlantika Mountains of Nigeria's Adamawa state, the Koma people have preserved their way of life for centuries. Discovered by the outside world in 1986, the Koma maintain traditions that include minimal clothing, with both men and women often wearing leaves or simple garments. For Koma girls, growing up topless is customary, reflecting a cultural norm rather than a statement. The Himba people of Namibia. In the arid landscapes of northern Namibia, the Himba tribe is renowned for its distinctive appearance. Himba women apply a mixture of red ochre and butterfat to their skin and hair, giving them a striking hue. Toplessness among Himba women is traditional, symbolizing beauty and cultural identity rather than immodesty. Understanding cultural norms. In many indigenous societies, nudity is not inherently sexual. For instance, in some African communities, children are allowed to be nude while playing, based on the belief in their innocence. These practices challenge Western notions of modesty and highlight the diversity of cultural expressions around the world. But how did these traditions withstand the pressures of modernization and globalization? Colonial influences and resistance. During colonial times, European powers often imposed their dress codes on indigenous populations, viewing traditional attire, or the lack thereof, as uncivilized. Despite this, many tribes resisted, preserving their customs as acts of cultural defiance. Modern-day challenges. Today, tribes like the Koma and Himba face new challenges, from tourism to climate change. Yet, their commitment to cultural preservation remains steadfast. Their attire, or intentional lack thereof, continues to be a powerful statement of identity and heritage. A practice deeply rooted in cultural norms, not viewed through a sexualized lens. This is a discussion about tradition, identity, and how environment shapes societal values. In many tribal communities, especially in parts of Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia, clothing customs differ vastly from those in urban or Western societies. For example, tribes like the Himba of Namibia or the Kayapo of Brazil have traditional ways of life that reflect their environment, climate, and social structures. In these communities, it's common for women and girls to be topless, not as an act of defiance or provocation, but simply because it's natural and culturally appropriate. For them, the human body is not shameful, it's a part of life, unsexualized and respected. As the modern world continues to expand, many indigenous groups face challenges such as climate change, loss of land, and cultural erosion. Respectful documentation and education can help preserve their knowledge and dignity without exploitation. We must always remember, filming or photographing these communities, especially children, requires consent and sensitivity. Ethical storytelling is essential. Their traditions are not entertainment, they're expressions of human diversity. In modern societies, nudity often carries complex meanings, often tied to media, advertising, and laws. But in many indigenous cultures, these associations don't exist. It's important not to judge these traditions using outside standards. Doing so risks misunderstanding and erasing the rich tapestry of human customs. Anthropologists stress the importance of cultural relativism, the idea that we should understand a culture on its own terms, not through the lens of our own. In many indigenous communities, especially in parts of Africa, South America, and Oceania, traditional clothing, or the lack of it, reflects climate, cultural identity, and social norms. For some tribes, going topless is not unusual or taboo. It's a normal part of daily life, especially in hot, tropical environments where minimal clothing is practical. Human diversity is vast and beautiful. Learning about different ways of life helps us appreciate the richness of the human experience. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to support respectful cultural education. When we talk about such topics, it's essential to avoid judgment. Cultural practices develop in response to environment, values, and history. What may seem unusual to outsiders is completely normal to those within the community. Environment plays a huge role in how clothing develops. In hot, humid climates like the Amazon or Central Africa, minimal clothing helps with comfort and survival. The concept of covering the body for modesty isn't universal. It evolved differently depending on the region. For example, cold climates required heavy clothing, which over time influenced the idea of proper dress. If this exploration into diverse cultural norms has intrigued you, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into fascinating traditions around the world. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below on how cultural perceptions of modesty vary across societies.